39 rules for entrepreneurship. It was actually 37, but I added two last minute that I thought were super important. So, my name is Nick, lifelong entrepreneur, went to business school, went to law school, own 20 online businesses, a real estate portfolio, sit on the board of a public company. And I have these rules that I wrote down for myself that hopefully will help you guys. So, let's get to it. Number one rule to remember as an entrepreneur: a business is not a business unless it makes money. Okay. Go ahead, form your LLC, get a logo, get an office, get a business card, get a suit, put a tie on. It don't matter. You're not a business until you have a paying customer. So focus on that, right? Focus on where's my money? Where's the money? Who is paying me? And how fast can I get there? Now, granted, there's going to be some things you need to run a business, but most things you don't. The only thing that makes you a legitimate business is having a customer and making a sale and then doing it again and again and again. So remember that, okay? Number two, speed matters. Focus on how fast you go. You are not operating in a bubble without competition. And if you don't think you have competition, give me a call, okay? Because I will guarantee you there's competition. People are like, but I'm the only Jamaican restaurant in Fowey, North Dakota. Yeah, I know, but there's other restaurants and people don't have to eat Jamaican food, right? So there's always competition. You don't live in a bubble. Speed matters. How fast you can execute something matters. The time between idea and execution matters, right? So the longer the time between idea and execution, the less likely it is to happen. The shorter the time, the more likely it is to happen. When you learn something, the faster you can implement it, the better off you're going to be. So remember, speed matters. Again, 39 rules for entrepreneurship. Number three, develop a vision and a plan, right? Know where you're going, visualize where you're going, and then put together a plan to get there. So if I say I want to dominate the business plan writing world, or I want to dominate the 3D printing world, or I want to dominate real estate in, Herkimer, New York, that's a vision. That's a vision. Without that, it's hard to move. If you just say, I want to get involved in real estate, there's too many avenues. What do you want to do? You want to buy land? You want to lease? You want to become a landlord of multifamilies? You want to do commercial, right? What do you want to do? There's too many. So have a clear vision. And then from there, extract a plan. Now, the plan doesn't have to be a 35-page business plan. It can be as simple as a couple sentences. I'm going to do A, B, C, right? It can be a one-page plan, but have a plan and have a vision. Because if you don't have a vision, you're just moving and moving and moving, and you don't know if you're hitting your target. You don't know if you're getting closer to your goal. So have a vision, have a plan. Two, don't be afraid to take risks and fail, okay? The greatest of the great have failed more than you. Michael Jordan missed more basketballs shots than the average basketball player. Messi, one of the greatest soccer players ever. Pelé, one of the greatest soccer players ever. These guys missed more shots than most players ever take, right? So don't be afraid to take the risk and don't be afraid to fail. As a matter of fact, be afraid if you're not failing enough. If you're not trying, if you're not trying, you're not failing. If you're trying, you're guaranteed you're going to fail. So don't be scared of failure. As a matter of fact, embrace it. Understand that it's part of the journey, right? In baseball, to become in the Hall of Fame, you need to bat over 500. That means you missed half the time. You missed half the time. You failed 50% of the time. You didn't hit the ball. And you were in the Hall of Fame. Embrace failure. Embrace that. Embrace the risks, okay? 5, stay organized. Stay organized and manage your time wisely, okay? Time management is super important. This means you're not wasting it. You're not wasting it. You're not sitting idle, right? And being organized helps that. So get a clear desk. Right now I'm in an office. I left my house. My desk at my office, at my house, my desk is a mess, right? When that happens, I just leave. Leave, give me a clean desk. I don't care if it's at Starbucks or if it's at my office, but I need to be organized. I need to have a clear train of thought because I need to execute what I'm trying to execute in a timely manner. So to manage your time, remember the 4 Ds of time management. Do it, drop it, defer it, or delegate it. If you can do it in 15, 30 minutes, do it right now. Get it out the way, don't wait. If if it doesn't have to be done today, take it off your to-do list because you checking in on it every once in a while. Oh, I have to do that. I have to do that. I have to do that. That's you're wasting time just checking it. So defer it. Defer it, right? If it's not those two and it has to get done, delegate it. Give it to someone else to do. Take it off your plate. And if it doesn't fall into those three categories, you drop it. You don't do it. Cross it off your to-do list, okay? So stay organized and manage your time. Next one, set goals, set realistic goals and objectives. Now, this does not mean do not think big, but they have to be realistic. So if I tell you, hey, one of my goals this year is to get 1 million people to my website per month, okay? Is it unrealistic? No, I think it's realistic. Do I have a plan for that? Because if you don't have a plan for that, it could become unrealistic really quick, right? If you're shooting off the hip. So what is the objective though, right? So I said set realistic goals and objectives. So if the goal is a million, what is the objective? What is the point of them coming to the website? Is it to buy a product or a service? Is it to become informed? Well, it's to buy a product or a service, right? So when they get to that website, is everything there ready for them to buy that product or service, right? Have a clear objective. Next one, make sure you have a solid understanding of the market. I started a water company in law school once. I knew nothing about the market. We failed miserably within a year, okay? Not understanding your market is one of the easiest ways to fail in business. Now, most people think they know their market. No, I've been working out my whole life. I'm a personal trainer. I know how to get fit. That's not your market. Your market is the fat person who wants to get fit or the unhealthy person who wants to get fit. What do they want? How do they want to see the product roll out? How do they buy your product or service? That is understanding the market, okay? So the market is your potential customer. And the only way to understand your customer is to service them or survey them, okay? The faster you can service them, the faster you can get in front of them and ask them the questions, what do you want? What are you looking for? Now you got to listen. You're not talking here. You're not trying to sell them because you don't know what they want yet. So listen to them. Understand your market. I have good market research on one of my websites, servitude.com. I'll put the link underneath. Really good market research. Know your market cold. You should know your potential customer cold. What they wear, where they sleep, how they eat, how they move, how they operate. Everything about them you should know, right? That way it's easier for you to explain the benefits of your product or service to them. So know your target market, okay? Next one, take advantage of networking opportunities. Any chance you get to get in front of large audiences that are in your market, do it. Network, 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 right? So this doesn't mean that you're going out to the nightclub and passing out flyers, right? It's not a networking opportunity, right? Be specific, be intentful with who you are trying to approach, okay? So take advantage of all networking opportunities. Again, these are 39 rules for entrepreneurs, okay? The next one, connect with mentors and advisors. This is a hack, okay? I wish I had done this earlier in my career, but when you're young, you think you know everything. But really what you want to do is get right next to someone that is doing exactly what you want to do. Get next to the person who's already done it and then usurp all that information. Just be quiet in the corner. Listen to them. And now it's easier than ever because the internet, YouTube, gives you billionaires telling you exactly how they did it. And there's common denominators. You don't have to want to be a billionaire, but they'll give you some common denominators. They never quit. They're relentless. They move fast. They show up on time. They're disciplined, right? These are all common denominators of, people that have done what you're trying to do. So get mentors and advisors in whatever field. That's a rule for entrepreneurship. The next one, back to instead of understanding your market, which is talking, understand your industry. So this is more in line with understanding your competitors, right? So when I started my consulting business, where we write business plans and we filed trademarks and we formed over 1,000 companies for clients. Who else is doing that? What is my competition doing? How do they do it? How do they pick up the phone? What does their website look like? What does their product look like? That's understanding your industry. And you want to understand your industry cold. No one should understand your industry better than you, because if they do, they have a competitive advantage. So just understanding what your competition is doing and what the industry as a whole is doing is going to be a huge competitive advantage for you. So as a rule for entrepreneurship, understand your industry inside and out, okay? Number 11, take advantage of every resource available. Free marketing, free help, free research, right? Take advantage of every single resource available. if there's free mentorship guides, if there's free tools online, take advantage of these resources. Next one, very similar to the industry, know your competition, right? So the industry could be like, what are entrepreneurs in the whole industry doing? Competition is very specific. We just went over that, right? Know your competition, know what they're doing, stalk them, right? And it's not for the purpose of trying to beat them or trying to emulate them as much as it to get a firm understanding of where you're positioned in the market. Just know your competition. It'll allow you to set yourself apart from them quicker. 13, adopt a continuous learning mindset. The one thing guaranteed in life is that it will be different tomorrow. The one thing guaranteed in your business is that it will be different tomorrow. And if you cannot continuously learn how to adapt to that, right? And have a learning mindset where you're always, how do I learn something new? You're going to fail. I'll give you an example. We're at the end of 2022, beginning of 2023. Artificial intelligence is starting to become more mainstream, right? If I'm not continuously trying to learn about something new and I'm not learning about that, I will fall behind. Artificial intelligence will kill about 30% of the jobs, the standard jobs that we see today. As a matter of fact, many jobs just go out. Forget about artificial intelligence for a second. Most jobs that are around today will not be around in 30 years. It's just a product of how society works. Like 30 years ago, the typewriting, you can get a degree in typewriting. Now that doesn't exist, right? Social media manager is a position today. That job didn't exist 30 years ago. So always be learning. Always be learning. Most entrepreneurs that are successful are continuously learning, continuously taking information in large droves every day. And that gives you another competitive advantage, right? Is knowing more than your competitors. The next one, remain flexible and open to change. This goes back to what I just said. The only constant or guarantee tomorrow is that it will be different, right? So you want to remain flexible and open to change. Don't be so rigid in your business model that a drastic change comes and you couldn't see it coming and you couldn't adjust to it. So remain flexible and open to change. The next one, get comfortable being uncomfortable. Get comfortable with discomfort. Not everything's going to be easy. Not everything's going to feel good. Not everything's going to be like all hunky dory. Sometimes it's going to be uncomfortable. Some of those meetings you're going to have to sit through that you didn't want to sit through. Some of those client calls you're going to have to take that you didn't have to take, right? So be comfortable being uncomfortable. The next one, develop a strong work ethic. This goes back to discipline. I say this in a lot of my videos, right? Get up every day and perform. Get up every single day and perform, right? Have the work ethic of a champion. A champion doesn't win the game in the game. He wins the game in practice. He gets up every morning and that repetition again and again and again, and he hits it. So when you have that to-do list and your goals and your action items, create the discipline, the work ethic to get up and knock those things out every single day, even when you don't feel like it. As a matter of fact, especially when you don't feel like it, because that's going to build you the tolerance. If you give up today, if you quit once when you're tired, you're going to make it a habit. And it's going to happen all the time. And the next time any little thing happens, you're like, I'll do that later. I'll do that later. Strong work ethic is necessary for entrepreneurship. Okay. No one in entrepreneurship and running your own business, no one's there to cheerlead you. No one's there to get you up in the morning, right? You're going to have to do that. So build that discipline, create that strong work ethic. Next one, cultivate relationships with customers. This is super important. Don't be transactional, be relationship based. A lot of entrepreneurs I see is, oh, I got a customer, got the money, go, hi, bye, thank you. Hi, bye, thank you. No, create a relationship with them so they come back. So they're thinking about you. And even if they don't come back for you, they're referring somebody to you. Christmas cards at Christmas time, birthday calls when it's their birthday, right? Create a relationship where they want to do business with you, even if they're not doing business with you. They want to stay in touch with you. So keep relationships, cultivate relationships with customers, suppliers, stakeholders, all of the above. Next one, provide quality customer service. This is super important, right? If a customer comes to me for anything, trademark, business plan, take their company public, no matter what, I am going to make sure that they are happy, even if it costs me my profit, right? So if they're not happy with how the business plans are, I'll fix it. I'll refund you, right? I'll give you all the money back after I put in hours and hours of work, as long as it keeps them happy. Why? Because you want to go down in history as the best to ever do it. And the only way to do that is to have your customer telling other people that you're the best. So strong customer service always has the customer happy. Okay? Always has you over delivering and guaranteeing your product or service to that customer. So focus on creating strong customer service. This means going above and beyond for your customer. Next one, don't be afraid to ask for help. If you're an entrepreneur, you're going to need help. You can't do it alone. There was no billion-dollar business created with just one man, one woman, right? You're going to need the help, and you need to check your ego to understand you don't know it all, you won't know it all, and you don't want to know it all. And the easiest way to get ahead is to get help, right? So get people that are proficient at things that you're not proficient at and ask them for help. When you don't know something, ask somebody who does and get the information, okay? So ask for help. The next one, build a strong team. If you're an entrepreneur and you want to build a business, I'm talking about a business now, which is different than a job. Okay. A lot of people start a business and they're the only one working there. Well, if you can't take a vacation without your business shutting down, you didn't create a business. You created a job for yourself, which by the way is fine. That's totally fine, right? There's plenty of side hustles out there and entrepreneurs making 6, 7 figures, and it's just them. Totally fine. But if you want to create a business, you're going to need a strong team. And that means letting go of the things that you used to do, right? So I call it the me to we problem. Everyone starts a business as one person with an idea, but you want to get to that business that's running on its own so you can go on vacation and it's still spitting out money at you. And for that, you need to build the right team. So get the right people, put them in the right position, and get out of their way. Build a great team. Next one, be open to constructive criticism. This is important, right? What you're doing in your business is not always going to be right. There's going to be times where you're way off the mark. If someone comments on your YouTube video, hey man, you need to, spruce that up. Hey, I wouldn't say that this way. Hey, your product was good, but I didn't like how you did this. Don't get insulted. Write it down and make sure you use that information to improve your product or service. So not only take constructive criticism when it comes, but ask for it. Ask your customers, ask your stakeholders, ask your suppliers, how can I do it better? How can I get better? How can I deliver a better product? Take constructive criticism and use it to your advantage, okay? Next one. Know the regulations in your industry. So not every industry this is important, but a lot of industries, there's regulation, whether you're in the food industry, healthcare, pharma, you want to know those industries cold and you want to know those regulations cold because you want to be ahead of the curve. So go to the tech shows, go to the conferences, go to the shows, go to the industry shows, talk to industry experts, regulators that will give you this information, and then make sure that you're a beacon for that information, right? You're putting that out there because that'll also help you with marketing. But know the regulations so you can stay ahead of the curve so it doesn't cost you later. Next one, make sure your business is legally compliant. So as an entrepreneur, this is later down the road. My first message to you guys is always get to the money, get to a customer as quickly as possible. And after you do that, use that money to make sure you're legally compliant, right? Make sure you formed your LLC, make sure you have your trademark, make sure that you have your sales permits in whatever states you're in. Talk to an attorney, talk to a business advisor, talk to a mentor, talk to someone who's already in that field. They will tell you how to get legally compliant and follow that. Next bullet point, know your unique selling points. So every product or service has a unique selling point, and it's not the product or service. So if I'm writing a business plan for you, the selling point is not that I went to law school or business school and that I can write it in 7 days and that I'm cost effective. The unique selling proposition is, hey, I can raise you $10 million with that business plan, right? That's the benefit to them. That's the unique selling proposition, in combination with all the other things, right? Went to business school, went to law school. So understand why you're different, why your product is different, right? Hey, I deliver. My competition doesn't deliver, right? That unique selling point is going to want to be highlighted every time you're presenting your product or service, and it's going to make it easier for you to sell. Next one, utilize effective marketing strategies. If you don't know this, Google effective marketing strategies. You're going to find lists and you're going to determine which ones are good for your company, right? For some people, it might be a billboard. For some people, it might be social media. For some people, it might be YouTube. For some people, it might be television ads. For some people, it might be direct contact, picking up the phone. For some people, it might be direct email or text messaging, right? But whatever it is, make sure it's effective. Effective means I don't care if you reached 1 million people on your Facebook page if you didn't make a sale when you could have had one phone call make the sale, right? That's effective. That one phone call in that case is more effective than, even if, by the way, the Facebook ads took you less time than the phone call, right? So effectiveness is, did it bring an ROI? Did it bring money in? So utilize effective marketing techniques. Focus on customer satisfaction. This is a little bit different than customer. What did I put here? Customer service, right? Focusing on customer satisfaction is making sure they're happy. Make sure they're happy. That's as simple as that, right? Make sure they're happy. Is the customer happy? And the way you know, ask them. Ask them for a reference. Ask them for a referral. Ask them for a review. And if they're not happy, find out why they're not happy and fix it. So focus on customer satisfaction. A happy customer will always lead to another customer. May not be today, may not be tomorrow, but eventually they either come back or they refer somebody. So 25, next one, 27. Utilize technology to your advantage. Okay? A lot of people use technology and it's just waste their time. Scrolling on Instagram, using Netflix to just, kill time. Use technology. There's technologies out there that let you send 1,000 emails with one click. There's technologies out there that let you post on 6 different social media platforms with one click. Use them. It's a tool for entrepreneurship that is either going to make you or it's going to keep you behind the curve. So utilize technology. Next one, know when to pivot and adjust. This is a hard one for a lot of people because there's a balance between trying something and giving up too early and then trying something for too long and just keep doing it and it's not working. So this only comes with practice, knowing when to pivot and adjust, but give it enough time that you actually tried it. There was something there. And sometimes it's not about giving up on the business, it's about giving up on the business model. What do I mean? When I first started my business plan writing business and I put up, 10 Craigslist ads and I made 18,000 for the first year, and it was something like that. It was under 20,000, right? Most people would say it's not working. It's not working. It didn't work. It didn't work. There just wasn't enough money there, right? Did I give up on the business plan writing business? I could have, right? A lot of people say it's not working. Just give up. Well, it wasn't the business plan writing business that was working. It was my marketing method that wasn't working. When I put up 400 ads on Craigslist, I made over 100,000 a year. So my pivot and adjustment there wasn't, hey, stop writing business plans. It was, hey, adjust the marketing, right? Increase the marketing budget, right? Or increase the efficacy of the marketing. So understand that the pivot sometimes is not, hey, let me get away from this business. It's, hey, let me adjust the business model so that the business works. Now, sometimes it's the business, right? So I've had clients come to me, hey, I want to be a resume writer. I can write an awesome resume. Well, the target market for resumes is not that big, and your target customer is looking for a job. He doesn't have any money. So it may not be the best qualified candidate to create a business off of, right? Because they don't have the money. So maybe you try it. Maybe, you created a piece of software that at scale it works, but maybe you didn't, right? Maybe you're just trying to write business plans and the Craigslist ads or the Google ads or the YouTube videos you made aren't doing it. And you've tried really hard for 6 months and you got 2 million views, but the customers didn't come in. Okay, maybe it's time for a pivot, right? Or an adjustment in the actual business. But a lot of times it's not an adjustment in the business, it's an adjustment in the business model with how you're doing things to get your customer. And know it, right? So you got to know that if you're trying something after a certain amount of time, it didn't work. But don't give up too soon. Some things, especially a lot of marketing efforts, take time, right? And that just comes through practice. So know when to adjust and pivot. You'll get to practice that as an entrepreneur, and that'll definitely be one of the things that are gonna, make you or break you as an entrepreneur. The speed at which you do it. Okay, next one. Develop strategies for overcoming obstacles. This is super important. So obstacles could be anything from marketing, Like, for example, you don't have a budget for marketing. Okay, well, there's a strategy out there for free marketing, right? You can make videos, you can develop content, you can start cold calling. That doesn't cost you anything right now, right? That's a strategy to overcome obstacles. Another obstacle could be customer complaints or customer words, right? Conversation you're having. Like when sometimes a customer calls me, oh, I can't believe that, it's $800 for a business plan, $799. Well, that's fine, right? So that's an objection. That's an obstacle, right? That's fine. I offer a 14-day option where it's only $400 upfront and it's $400 in 7 days. So really it's only $400, right? Or I don't have the time to deal with the questionnaire. No problem. I just need 10 minutes of your time and I'll go through the whole questionnaire so you don't have to spend an hour. These are all obstacles, objections that you're going to have to overcome, but you want to create a strategy for doing that. So, for example, um, for me, a strategy for overcoming an obstacle, like let's say an obstacle could be having a bad day or just being in a bad mood. Well, I meditate. I'll meditate for 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 60 seconds. Whatever it is, have a strategy because you are going to face obstacles as an entrepreneur and you're going to need a strategy for them. The next one, monitor and measure your success. This is important um, in every sense, right? So I write down everything I do every day, right? During the day, at the end of the day, as I remember, I'll write it down. And then what I do is I look back every week, every month, every year, and I look back and say, okay, what did I do and what happened, right? How much money did I make and what did I do to make that money? And then I can adjust and say, okay, that worked, that didn't work, that worked really well, that kind of worked, and I can tweak and adjust. But if you don't measure it, if you're not monitoring everything you're doing, it's going to be hard to measure. So you don't know. I know if I have a stellar month, I can look back and be like, oh, that's what I did different. Okay, let's do that again. If I had an abysmal month, there's months, I remember there was a month a couple years ago in November where I had like one of my lowest performing months. And I look back and my Google ads weren't running. I go, well, that makes sense, right? But I was able to monitor that. So monitor what you're doing and measure what you're doing. How many phone calls did you put out, right? How many tweets did you send? How many Facebook posts did you send? How many people did you comment on? How many people did you DM? If you can monitor that and then measure it based on what's actually happening in your business, oh man, I got a client when I DM 10 people. Well, what happens when I DM 100? Well, I got 2 clients. Oh, okay, well, it's not one for one, right? Because if it was 10 and I did 100, I thought I was going to get 10. Okay, what happens when I do 1,000? Well, I get 7 clients. Okay, now you're starting to get a model, mathematical formula that you can go and rely on to take action again. But you have to be able to monitor and measure your progress. So make sure you're auditing yourself. You're keeping track of the things you're doing to the best extent possible, right? You don't need to get paralyzed with this practice where, oh, I got to write everything down or, let me remember what I said. But definitely look back at what you did. Look back at the posts you put up on Instagram. Look back at the clients that you serviced. Look back at the ones that were a headache. Look back at the ones that were easy. Look back at the ones that were profitable. Look back at the ones that were not profitable and measure it because it'll give you good traction moving forward, right? The next one, and we're almost done here. We got another 8 to go. Find ways to differentiate yourself from your competition, right? So it's pretty self-explanatory, but you want to be different. I don't care if you're selling the same cup of coffee, have a different cup. I don't care if you're writing the same business plan, do it faster or cheaper than the other person, or have a better cover page, right? Find always a way to make yourself different from your competition. That way, when they say, "Well, what's different from you and the other guy?" There's a reason, right? I come to you, the other guy doesn't come to you, right? Always find a way to make yourself different from your competition. The next one, make sure your financials are in order. Look at your bank balance every single day. Every single day. Look, you got credit card debt? Look at it every day. You have no money to pay it down? I don't care. Look at it. Look at it every single day. And organize it. Have a plan to pay it off. Have a plan to make more money. And keep track of everything you're spending, everything you're making, right? Audit yourself. Daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. You should be looking. And every single day, you should be looking at your financial balances. So you know Hey, how much money do I have? Am I on track? I said I was going to make 100,000 this year. Am I on track this month to make my money? I said I was going to make 120,000 this year. Did I make 10,000 this month? Oh no. Okay, I got to adjust, right? Look at your finances, have a budget, stick to the budget, make the investments necessary to achieve your financial goals, and just be conscious of your finances, right? Look at it. Look at your balances. You got zero in the bank? Look at it. Look at it. Get mad enough to do something about it, right? But keep track of your finances. Next one. Make sure your pricing is competitive, right? Make sure your pricing is competitive. Don't get out of the box, man. Don't be selling cups of coffee for $100 unless you're at the Hilton and you're offering something crazy with it. But make sure your pricing is competitive. The next one, build a strong brand. Build a name that people will remember and keep putting it out in front of them, right? Make sure you're auditing. Is my logo readable? Is my brand memorable? Now, everyone falls in love with their brand. So here's a trick. Survey 100 potential customers. Hey, what do you think about this brand name? What do you like about it? Hey, what do you think about my logo? Hey, what do you think about my Facebook page? Hey, what do you think about my website page? Do you like it? Do you like the color scheme? Can you read it? Do you remember it? What do you think about when you hear the name? Right? Build a strong brand. And most of the time, by the way, guys, brands are built just by constant repetition, just by beating you down with that same brand again and again and again and again and again right into your head, right? So, but make sure you build a strong brand. It's great for entrepreneurship. It's definitely one of my rules for entrepreneurship. Next one, don't be afraid to take calculated risks. Take risks, but calculated risks. Don't jump out of the airplane without a parachute. Jump out of the airplane with a parachute, right? Calculated risks, right? I'm going to go into business. Do you have the funds to go into business? Do you have the, if you don't have the funds, are you strong enough mentally to get through without having the funds, right? Take the calculated risks. If I have a budget of $1,000, am I blowing the whole budget on a marketing strategy that I don't know if it's going to work or not? Or am I only spending 100 first to test it? And then when I see what works, am I putting a little bit more in? And then a little bit more in. That's what I'm talking about when I say calculated risks, right? Making sure you understand what's the risk profile here of me losing everything, and then betting just the right amount. So I know when I have a sure shot of getting a return, then I can put more in. Take calculated risks. Another rule for entrepreneurship, okay? Next one, and we're almost done here. Stay up to, oh, we already went through that one. Be willing to invest in yourself and your business. This is a big one. Invest in your education, invest in yourself health wise, mental wise, diet wise, right? Don't skimp on yourself. Oh, I don't have the money. I'll just get McDonald's. Dude, you're going to feel like crap. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Invest in your business, right? Oh, I don't have money to invest in a business plan. Okay, well, you're not investing in your business. How do you expect your business to move forward? I don't have money for a website yet. You can build a website. Go learn how to build a website on YouTube. Invest the time, invest the money into your business. If you don't invest into your business, it's not going to give you a return. If you're constantly sucking out of your business every dollar you get, and you're not actually putting something back in there to make some more money, it's not going to grow. So spend the time, the money to invest in your business. Two more. The next one, stay focused and motivated. So you got to stay motivated. You got to stay disciplined. Get up every morning with a good attitude and focus on the task at hand. What's the task at hand for an entrepreneur? Go make money. Go make money. Don't get distracted from that. There's so many distractions. Oh, I gotta do this. I gotta post to Facebook. I gotta make a YouTube video. I gotta write a book. Yeah, you're right. You gotta do that too. But you got one focus. Get the bag. Get the money. Right? Keep that at the focus. That way, even when you're posting a YouTube video, even when you're making a post for Facebook, it revolves around, okay, I hope this post is going to generate capital, right? I hope this video is somehow a strategy for me to drive traffic to my products or service to get me more money, right? Because if it's not for that, it's in vain and you're wasting your time. So focus and motivation. One of the tricks I have for motivation is reminding yourself of how much you got through already. You've gotten through 100% of your hard days. You got through every single hard day you've ever had. You got through it. So take that energy, that realization that, hey, I got through all this, and you're gonna get through today too, and get motivated. Okay, stay motivated. And the last one, have a sense of humor. Things are not always gonna go as planned. They're not always gonna go as planned. Learn to laugh, because laughing will give you endorphins of happiness, right? Just smiling, right? Your posture, right? How you stand affects your mood. How you look affects your mood. You smiling instead of having a set. You ever seen people like that? You wonder how they're feeling. I'll tell you how they're feeling. They're feeling horrible. Look at their face, right? But it's a product of each other. So you having a good mood, having a good sense of humor about things will help you get through entrepreneurship because you're going to deal with a lot. You're going to deal with a lot of pain, a lot of struggle, and it's going to be good to laugh sometimes, right? To make sure that you understand, hey, it's okay. It's okay. So I hope these were helpful tools for rules for entrepreneurship. They've definitely helped me in my entrepreneurial career. If you guys need help, visit my website, give me a call. Hit that like button if you like the video. Share the video if you thought it was useful or you think somebody else can benefit from it. And if you have some rules for entrepreneurship, put them in the comments section below. I'd love to hear them. I respond to all the comments on all my social media platforms. So hope you guys are great. Hope you guys never give up. Hope you guys succeed in every single business venture and personal venture in your lives. And we'll talk on the next video.